Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
This is the sound we heard early in the morning as the Muslim faith called their people to prayer. Albania is approximately 70% Muslim and only 1% Christian. There are many Muslim mosques dotting the landscape of Albania and very few Christian churches. The Great Commission commands us to go out into all the world and preach the gospel. So then, how do we reach Albania for Christ?
Hello, I'm over here in Albania, and I've gone on a mission trip for Hope for the World. And I have a boy that I sponsored for the last 10, 11 years. And I got to meet him for the first time now, and he's 21. And it is incredible how the money that I have sent over the years to help this boy, how it has really helped him, and that brought himself up in the orphanage and is doing very, very well. He is now in college, and he is studying to be in international public relations. He has learned the Bible, and he's learned to be a Christian, and that is going to be an incredible feature for Albania in the later years to come.
We've been sponsoring Eric Goose since I was a baby. In a way, we've grown up together, just oceans apart. We have prayed for our brother in Albania. We have received pictures of him growing up. I met him for the first time this year, and Mom asked him if he believed in Jesus Christ, and he told us through Freddie that he was a believer. So this won't be the only time I'll ever get to see him. If I never see him again on earth, I'll know I'll see him in heaven.
Before Hope for the World, before the Tag Center, Ergus and Spin would have been destined to live on the streets. This possibility plagues these kids again because there is no place for them to go at the age of 14 to 16 except to live in government dorms in terrible conditions. Unsupervised, most end up back on the streets in gangs, mafia, or prostitution, creating a terrible cycle of orphans giving birth to more orphans. Can you imagine being a young teenager, having no mom or dad, and then to have to leave the only family you have known at the orphanage under the great care of Hope for the World, and then being turned out into the streets because the government will no longer allow you to stay?
Can't stay in the dorms because all my life I stay in the dorms and I don't stay anymore. Everything is bad.
It is the most difficult time of life, being teenager, you know. It is the time when it requires a lot of support and a lot of help, because in this time they're going to take shape and they're going to have someone, you know, who's going to help them maybe.
For years, the Tag Center was a refuge for a select few of these kids, but there was limited space, and now, because of the government, even the Tag Center is no longer available. Can you imagine one of our kids, raised under the Lord's care, is now the mayor of his town, or a pastor of a church leading his own people to the Lord? A doctor, a social worker, like Anila, raised as an orphan, now leading Bible studies in our orphanages. Imagine, here at the new Hope for the World Center, one by one, we train these young people to make a difference for Christ in their country. We provide a secure home and a firm biblical foundation. Over time, Albania is reached for Christ, one child or one teenager at a time.
Been walking the streets of lonely, wrestling with your fear. Been listening to the voices telling you that no one cares. been tired and cold and hungry, longing for something more. Been standing outside just waiting. It's time to walk through the door. You're finally safe and sound.